Hello students, welcome to e-learning platform of Dr. Bapuji Salunkhe Institute of Engineering and Technologies, Mechanical Engineering Department. I am Sagar Gadkar and I am teaching you the subject elements of machine design. In last lecture, we have already started with our third unit, that is design of shafts, keys and coupling, and in this session we will continue with the same. So let's see about the shaft. So shaft is a rotating machine element, circular in cross section, which is used to transmit power from one to another. Okay, so generally you can see in engines, so engine shaft is transmitting power which is induced in the engine to the wheels of a vehicle. So such shafts are shown here. So in this figure, the shaft shown is supported in the two bearings. So this end part is nothing but bearing and this horizontal part is nothing but our shaft. Okay, again this shaft is mounted by one pulley which acts a load on this horizontal shaft. So the shaft may be hollow or circular in cross section and which support the power transmitting elements like gears, pulleys, flywheels and cranks, etc. The shaft is generally acted upon by bending moment. Due to this weight of pulley, the shaft will bend like this. Okay, so it is generally subjected to the bending moment in addition to the torque and axial force. There are other two similar forms of a shaft like axle and spindle. So first is axle. So axle is a stationary machine element that supports rotating elements like wheels, hoisting drums or rope sheaves. So in figure you can see this is the horizontal element or horizontal shaft is nothing but axle, as it is a stationary part, so it is called as axle, and at this portion the wheel is mounted. So such type of machine elements is used for transmission of bending moment and it does not transmit any torque. Next type of shaft is spindle. So this is the spindle, which is a short rotating shaft that imparts motion either to a cutting tool or to a workpiece. So generally you can find such elements in a drilling machine. So in drilling machine, in one part you can found one element like this and the drill is mounted here. So this is nothing but spindle. So such type of machine element is used in all machine tools such as small drive shafts of a lathe machine or spindle of a drilling machine. Next types of shaft. So first type is transmission shaft. So these shafts transmit power between the source and the machine absorbing power. So in this figure the source is due to the motor, that is electric motor, and using the belt. So here the belt is fitted on this pulley and the power is transmitted from motor to this shaft. Okay, so this is the example of line shaft. So the counter shafts, line shafts, overhead shafts and all factory shafts are nothing but the transmission shaft. So this is the example of overhead line shaft. Next is machine shafts. So these shafts form an integral part of the machine itself. So for example, in IC engine, the crankshaft is the integral part of the machine, that is the IC engine. So the figure shows the crankshaft and stirrup shaft which are the machine shafts. Size of the shafts. So there are some standard sizes of the shafts as below. So first 25 mm to 60 mm with 5 mm steps. Second is 50 mm to 110 mm with 10 mm steps. Third one is the 110 mm to 140 mm with 15 mm steps. Next is 140 mm to 500 mm with 20 mm steps. The standard length of the shaft are 5 meter, 6 meter and 7 meter. So there are some characteristics of the shaft materials. So the material used for the shaft should have the following properties. So it should have high strength, it should have good machinability, it should have good heat treatment properties, it should have high wear resistant properties, it should have high fatigue strength and it should possess the low knot sensitivity factor. So let's see the design of shafts. So generally the shaft is designed on the basis of two main groups, that is first group is design of shafts on the basis of strength and second is design of shaft on the basis of rigidity. So again the first group, that is on the basis of strength, is subdivided into these three groups, okay, in which the shafts are subjected to twisting moment only, the shafts are subjected to bending moment only, and the third one is the shafts are subjected to combined twisting and bending moment. Again this third group, that is combined twisting and bending moment, is again subjected to the two groups, that is combined twisting moment and bending moment with constant twisting moment and bending moment, and second one is the fluctuating twisting and bending moment. So let's see one by one. So first is design of shaft on the basis of strength. So in this group, the first subcategory is shaft subjected to twisting moment only. So for this category, we need torsion, basic torsion equation, which is given by T by J, tau by R and G theta by L. So when the shaft is subjected to the twisting moment on the basis of strength, we need the part of that equation as T by J tau by R. So in this equation where we have T is equal to torque, that is in terms of Newton meter, J or IP, that is our polar moment of inertia, tau is induced shear stress or torsional shear stress, which is in terms of Newton per mm square, and R is the radius of the shaft. So when the shaft is subjected to twisting moment only, the polar moment of inertia is calculated by using these two equations. So here again the shaft may be a solid shaft or a shaft is maybe a hollow shaft, okay. So for solid shafts, first see the solid shaft. So here J, that is polar moment of inertia, is pi by 32 d raised to 4 and radius is nothing but d by 2. So put these values of J and R in previous equation, that is T by J. So put the value of J and put the value of R in this equation. So you will get T by pi by 32 d raised to 4 is equal to tau upon d by 2. So after solving this equation, you will get the torque as T is equal to pi by 16 d cube multiplied by tau. So in torsion, in strength of materials, this equation is nothing but the strength of solid circular shaft, where d is the diameter of the shaft. Similarly, for hollow shafts, the value of J and R are calculated. So J is nothing but pi by 32 capital D raised to 4 minus small d raised to 4 and R is capital D by 2. So here keep in mind this radius is nothing but capital D by 2, not small d by 2, because the force is applied at the external radius for the outer radius of the shaft or for the outer diameter of the shaft. So take radius as capital D by 2, that is external diameter by 2. So put the all values in previous equation. So you will get the value of torque as pi by 16 times d raised to 4 minus small d raised to 4 multiplied by tau, where this d small d is nothing but internal diameter of the shaft and capital D is nothing but external diameter of the shaft. Second group is shaft subjected to bending moment only, okay. So again for this equation, or the reference for this equation is our bending moment equation or flexure formula, which we have already seen in the strength of materials, that is M by I sigma B by Y is equal to E by R. So from that equation we have taken only M by I sigma B by Y. So where M is nothing but bending moment in Newton mm, I again moment of inertia about the axis of rotation in terms of mm raised to 4, sigma b bending stress in Newton per mm square, and last one is the y, distance of layer from the neutral axis. So again here the shaft, as the shaft is solid or hollow, you need to calculate the two values for solid shaft for a bending moment and for hollow shaft also a bending moment. So the moment of inertia for solid circular shaft is pi by 64 d raised to 4 and the distance of neutral axis or any layer from the neutral axis is d by 2. So put these values in previous equation, that is m by I sigma b by y. So you will get the value of moment as m is equal to pi by 32 d cube multiplied by sigma b. Similarly, for hollow shaft, you will get the value as m is equal to pi by 32 d into bracket d raised to 4 minus small d raised to 4 multiplied by sigma b. So for these two equations, that is this equation and this equations, are very important for solving the problems. So keep the equations in your mind. Next group is shaft subjected to combined twisting and bending moment. So in that group again we have two subcategories, that is shaft subjected to constant twisting and bending moment, and second category will be shaft subjected to fluctuating twisting and bending moment. So here by using our two theories, that is first is according to maximum principal stress theory and second will be according to maximum shear stress theory, we use that two theories. So here by using the maximum principal stress theory, here the equivalent bending moment is calculated. So for numericals you need only formula, so I request you to keep that equation in mind, for which we will need in the solving the problems. So here this equivalent bending moment is nothing but the moment which when acting alone produces the same bending stress, that will be tensile or compressive, as the actual bending moment. So we previously calculated the bending moment as m is equal to pi by 32 d cube multiplied by sigma b, as this bending moment is similar to the equivalent bending moment, that is this equivalent bending moment produces the same effect as the bending moment which we have already calculated. So equate this me to this equation. Okay, so before this equation is calculated by using principal stress theory. So in that case we have the equation, one proof for this equation, but here I have taken directly one equation, that is m is equal to 1 by 2 into bracket m plus under root of m plus t square. Okay, so for calculating the diameter of the shaft, you should equate this me to this equation, that is pi by 32 d cube multiplied by sigma b, and from these two equations you can calculate the diameter of the shaft. Second is the shaft subjected to fluctuating twisting and bending moment. So in this concept, so you need to just multiply by the combined shock and combined fatigue factors in the give equations which we have already calculated here, that is according to the maximum principal stress theory, me is 1 by 2 m plus under root of m square plus t square. So in this equation you need to multiply by the suitable factors. So for bending moment you need to multiply by this equation by km, and where km is nothing but combined shock and fatigue factor, and for equivalent twisting moment multiply by kt. So here not km, so it is kt. Okay, kt. So under root of kt is equal to under root of kt multiplied by m square plus kt multiplied by t square, where the km and kt are nothing but the combined shock and fatigue factor for bending, and kt is nothing but combined shock and fatigue factor for twisting. Second major group is design of shafts on the basis of rigidity. So this equation is also calculated by using the torsion formula, that is T by J g theta by L. So where T is nothing but twisting moment acting on the shaft, J or IP polar moment of inertia, capital G or capital C is nothing but modulus of rigidity, or theta is nothing but angle of twist, and L is nothing but length of the shaft. So if you have any doubt, you can always contact me on this number. Thank you.